Altcoin season is about to come. And we're not going to get just regular gains. In fact, even mega gains simply won't do. It's likely we're about to experience absolute giga gains. But what if I told you that something big is coming? Would you believe it? Or are you an absolute giant baby? Because right now there's quite literally dozens and dozens of pieces of information showing us that we're about to bust big and we're about to bust hard. So if you are ready for gains bigger than you could ever imagine, hit that like and subscribe. And without any further ado, let's just dump in. So before we actually jump in, what do you think about these price predictions? $150,000 Bitcoin, only what? $30,000, less than $30,000 from what we've hit so far. A $5,000 ETH, which is very low in my opinion, considering ETH hit about 4,600 in the last bull market. So if we dump in, if history does repeat, altcoins are about to explode. You can see the altcoin market cap right here. You can see where we are, not even at new all-time highs. Okay, let's just say one thing. We are all about to get giga rich, potentially. And also, as we pointed out, this is basically, in my opinion, the best evidence we've had so far that Ethereum is now about to start finally seeing some gains, which is, straight out of the playbook. We start at phase one with Bitcoin. Then we have this overlap in between each of these major phases, but phase two is Ethereum. Then it's large cap coins, and then full blown, absolute raging altcoin season. And that's what a lot of you guys want. That's what a lot of people are waiting for. And specifically with Ethereum, ETH is about to break a 3.5-year-old trend line. It has not hit a new all-time high since the last bull market. Bitcoin has, most altcoins have not. But when ETH does, you can bet your sweet bottom that a lot of these alts will likely do exactly what they do, which is go up in this order. We have no evidence that this is not going to be the kind of cycle flow because it's always happened so far. Maybe it won't happen again, but until it does, we have to assume most likely that it's just going to keep doing and following the same pattern that it always has. And retail interest is slowly picking back up, nowhere near the highs we saw in the last bull market, but altcoins again are starting to gain some interest. We're seeing altcoins actually put on some value as Bitcoin is again, this has only been for a couple days, but Bitcoin is trading a little sideways, consolidating a little bit, and altcoins are showing some strength. But it's not just, simple things like this as well. We see, if we look at the crypto total market cap, which is Bitcoin and ETH removed, so the entire cryptocurrency market cap minus Bitcoin and ETH, it looks like some sort of ascending triangle, right? Before a major move up, similar to the previous Altseason. In fact, actually, more similar to the 2017 bull run. And that was a much stronger Altseason in many ways, I think. And we also see the total crypto market cap just quietly printed a new all-time high this week. And barely anyone did notice. The weekly RSI broke its downtrend, confirming momentum is back. And the beginning of a new phase is here. But what does that mean as well is that we haven't really seen the beginning of this. This is the trickiest part, is you want to ideally catch these gains before they happen, okay? This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's clearly so far continuing to have a breakdown. I mean, this is so far the biggest red 2-week candle we've seen on Bitcoin dominance, going all the way back to 2021, which was Altseason. Maybe even starting in a similar fashion as the last Altseason. If we go back, really, Bitcoin dominance peaked at the end of 2020 in the last bull run. And you can see this is what an Altseason looks like on a Bitcoin dominance chart. So if we're going to get Altseason on this chart, Bitcoin dominance this chart is going to look, probably a lot more drastically down. And so far, this is quite a strong bi-weekly candle, signaling maybe that actually is what's happening right now. And Bitcoin dominance, as we just pointed out, has dropped significantly. Crypto Raven on X believes the trend will continue through July, fueling a strong altcoin rally. Keep an eye on promising altcoins. A lot of people might be asking, what altcoins? Well, great question. But also, Altseason is just getting started. The altcoin season index has just formed a resist consolidation pattern with an initial massive pump. The total altcoin market cap will reach, according to this person, and this is something I've covered in a previous video, he keeps saying about 15 trillion. And also, this is something I want to kind of highlight because this could be a little dangerous. 1000x is not really what you should be aiming for, because that's, not super realistic, very risky. For any coin that might go up 1000x, it might completely dump as well. Realistically, I guess, how many trillions of dollars could come into this market? Well, with the current crypto climate in the US shifting for the better, and with this space getting more clarity, or actual clarity, because you say more clarity, but there was never actually any clarity. So the fact there might be actual clarity, some clarity at all, is the most bullish environment this market has ever seen. We could put on trillions and trillions of dollars in the altcoin space. Absolutely. I think that's very realistic. But even though interest is increasing, the wave of retail really has not entered this market, and there's not a lot of froth, euphoria, exuberance like we always see, especially in altcoin seasons. People get the most bullish and the most excited when garbage coins start going up, because a lot of new investors, especially smaller net worth investors, invest a lot of money in altcoins because they have chances of outsized gains, right? But once the wave floods the market, altcoins can make people insanely rich. That's actually not the issue. The issue is that you are likely to make a lot of money, but you are likely to also not keep it. You're also likely to just give it back. So that's really the true battle here. And we also see the others chart, which is altcoins, excluding so the entire crypto market, excluding the top 10, is actually moving past resistance that we've seen around 300 billion for the entire year. It seems to be just moving pretty quickly above that. Again, this is another metric that I like looking at, because Bitcoin obviously is not an altcoin. ETH is the biggest altcoin. And then there's a lot of other top alts, especially, specifically in the top 10, that account for so much of the entire crypto space. But if you remove those and you look at even, mid caps and even some large caps, but anything out of the top 10, and you see it kind of slicing through the resistance like that, again, that's another signal and another big thing to watch to really see how strong momentum is. And what Crypto Elites actually says here is altcoin season began in January 2021 for the last bull market, and now it's starting July of 2025. Trend breakouts and support zones are almost identical. Over the next 4 or 5 months, he's saying we're likely to see an average of about 50x gains between, obviously, I guess he's averaging, some of those very top coins with even the most minuscule baby coins. But really, Altseason will look like something we haven't seen yet in this cycle. It'll look like something we've seen only in the last cycle. The total 2 chart is also close to taking out previous all-time highs. A similar setup in 2016 and 2020 led to a final parabolic rally for alts during subsequent months. Some of you might be looking at this just thinking, oh, these are just like squigglies on a chart. But a lot of the times, over the long term like this, these actually end up being more or less correct. In fact, where we are right now with Bitcoin at 120K, a lot of people have been predicting this. A lot of us have been waiting for this. And with Bitcoin dominance clearly just plummeting so far, this is the biggest single reason, I already covered this, but the biggest single reason why I'm getting more bullish on altcoins, because Bitcoin dominance is signaling that things are about to get big for altcoins specifically. And as well, you can see, look at 2 different time frames. The 6-month chart here, there's a symmetrical triangle breakout on the total 2. On the 1 month, we have a MACD bullish crossover, and then as well, there's a golden cross on the daily chart. Just more and more evidence signaling that these alts are starting to really heat up. And obviously the inverse of Bitcoin dominance, altcoin dominance, is in a falling wedge pattern as well. Seems to be like breaking out of that. So if alt season is coming, because it very much looks like it's very possible it's starting right now, that begs the question, what do you do? Basically, the simplest thing is to be exposed in this market with what you're willing to lose, but also any extra cash, really. I mean, I've been doing this for so long too. I keep saying this all the time, but like, you have to take risk if you really want to make it, not even just with investing, not even just with money. You have to take risk, right? And one of the things I love about this market is that there's a lot of risk. But what does that translate to? It means there's a possibility of a lot of gains and a lot of reward from that as well. So simply to answer the question, being invested in some of these top alts, being invested in coins that show strength, and specifically looking at their charts and their structure and everything, look like they're about to go big or go home. And when I mean home, I mean up, go big or go even bigger. Then for a lot of this, actually I can make it kind of easy. For a lot of the people that are watching this, if you're already invested, the simplest thing to do after you're already exposed to this market is just wait. Because in bull markets, especially in alt seasons, things just go crazy up. And it's really that simple. But get signed up if you do want to buy any altcoins or trade using the links below. Without any further ado, that's it for me.